Hey, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to break down the tech behind something that feels, well, kind of like magic. Real-time streaming AI chat. We're going to look at exactly how you can build an experience where the AI's response doesn't just pop up, it actually flows onto the screen word by word.
So just imagine this for a second. You've got your new chat app running, and you ask it a pretty basic question, right? Something like, what is the agent framework AGUI?
And boom, instead of that awkward pause you usually get while the AI is thinking, the answer just starts streaming back to you instantly. See, this smooth conversational flow is exactly what AGUI is all about. And it's not just a minor detail. It totally changes how it feels to talk to an AI. It feels less like a computer and a lot more like a real conversation.
That immediate feedback feels so natural, right? But making it happen takes some seriously clever engineering behind the scenes. It's not just one program doing everything. It's a really well-designed system. So how do we get from a simple question to this super fluid experience? All right, let's get into it.
Okay, the very first thing you need to get is that this isn't one single application. The whole idea is really a tale of two apps. You've got a server and you've got a client, and they're working together in perfect sync. Each one has a very specific job to do. So think of the server as the AI brain. This is the part that's doing all the heavy lifting, right? It's hosting the language model. It's doing all the thinking. The client, on the other hand, is the chat interface. That's the screen you're looking at, the box you're typing into. The whole magic trick here depends on these two parts communicating flawlessly to create that seamless streaming effect. Let's start with the brain itself. We've got to build the server that's going to host our AI agent and, open up a doorway so our chat interface can talk to it. And here's the good news. The agent framework makes this whole process way simpler than you might think. From a high level, it really just boils down to three main steps. First, you install the packages you need. These are like the Lego bricks for your project. Second, you write the actual code that defines your web app and creates the AI agent. And finally, you just configure it with your credentials and fire up the server. And just like that, your AI brain is online. Now check this out. This right here is the absolute secret sauce on the server side. This one single line of code, this map-AGI method, does almost all of the hard work for you. It handles all the complex stuff with requests and responses, and most importantly, it sets up that entire streaming communication protocol. It's so much power packed into just one command.
Okay, so our AI brain is officially up and running. Now we need to build the other half of the equation, the chat interface that lets us actually talk to it. So let's switch gears and see how we build out the client.
And you're probably going to notice a pattern here, because the client-side setup is just as straightforward. First, you install the client libraries. Then, you create what's called a client agent and just tell it where the server is. You give it the URL. And finally, you write a simple loop that just sits there, listens for the incoming stream, and puts the text on the screen. Seriously, that's it. That's your front end. And this method, run streaming async, well, that's the heart and soul of the client. It's kind of like you're tuning into a live radio broadcast. It connects to the server, and then it just listens. It patiently waits for every new chunk of the response, and the second a word or even part of a word arrives, it grabs it and slaps it right onto your screen. So we have our brain, we have our interface, but how in the world do they talk to each other so fast? The answer is all in the special language they're speaking, which is the AGUI protocol itself. The real magic behind this whole connection is a web standard called Server Sent Events, or SSE. Think about it like this. Normally, your browser has to keep bugging a server, asking, got anything new? Anything new yet? With SSE, the server opens a direct line to your browser and just pushes the updates to you the very instant they're ready. It's like the difference between hitting refresh on a news site over and over and just getting a live text alert. That push is what makes real-time streaming possible.
So this flow is what's really important to get. The client sends just one single question over to the server. The server starts thinking, and as it comes up with the answer, it opens this special one-way channel and starts streaming back these little packets of data, the SSE events. The client just catches each one as it comes in and puts it on the screen. It's so much more efficient and feels way faster than having to wait for the whole perfect paragraph to be finished.
So now that we've pulled back the curtain and looked at the server, the client, and the protocol that ties them all together, you basically have the blueprint. You've got all the concepts you need to start building your own streaming AI agents.
Honestly, this framework just blows the doors open for what's possible. I mean, imagine a coding buddy that suggests fixes while you're typing, or a creative partner that brainstorms with you in a totally natural conversation. The barrier for creating these kinds of real-time experiences is lower than it's ever been. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build? If you want to get started, definitely check out the AGUI Quick Start Guide. It's actually the source material we use for this explainer. From there, you can start adding your own custom tools to give your agent some really unique skills. You really do have the blueprint now to build the next generation of conversational AI. I can't wait to see what you create.